basically exchange time for money. However, he's happy to accept a sales job for someone else. That to me is a bit of a contradictory to your statement. And like I said, could be completely wrong, in the sense of, commission-based work and all those different things. But to me, that's still, you're still reporting to someone. You're still responsible to someone, for example. And like I said in previous videos, if you're not happy with your current 9-to-5 job, find something else. Or if you're not getting paid in your current job, upskill or find something else. Always look to improve yourself and better yourself and all these different things. And like we have had discussions previously, not everyone can work for themselves. Like, I found it increasingly difficult to work for myself when I did. And and the state of the economy and all these different environmental factors drove me back to work. So
there isn't a bit of a bone in my body that wants to work a job at all. You see, like, what led up to this was I realized that when I was in high school specifically, I remember I got a job during the summer and I worked my ass off. I think I was working like 10-hour days at this place it was like a very manual labor type of job. And I was getting paid, I think, like something like $10 an hour. And after working my ass off for 5 whole days, I got a paycheck for about $400. Then I remember sitting here looking at this paycheck like, I can't believe I just traded that much time for 5 days of my heart and soul and these blood, sweat, and tears. Like, literally, I have like a scar on my back.
It's really hard to do this reaction video, to be brutally honest. This guy just comes across as extremely entitled, but like the level of entitlement coming from this guy is just infuriating. It's turned me orange.
From this job, because I got like this nail that like scratched my back and I want to play it off. I don't want to be the little bitch, I guess, at the job. And I did the math. If I wanted to become a millionaire, I viewed that was like freedom. If I wanted to become a millionaire and I was getting paid $400 a week, then that would have taken me 50 years to get to the point where I was a millionaire. At that point, I realized that this doesn't even make sense. And
so why does everyone gravitate towards this million dollar idea, I suppose, for a personal say? Like, I suppose the way that I look at it is that I would want a business or some sort of secondary income or some sort of income per se that would actually generate something that I'm comfortable with. If I could live on comfortably $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 a year with all my bills paid and have all these different things, I would want that income coming on a regular basis, on a yearly basis, or something along the lines of that. And obviously, if I earn more or the business generates more than that income a year, fantastic. It just gets reinvested into something else. But I don't know why people keep throwing around this $1 million thing just to basically as some sort of trophy, I suppose.
So I realized at a young age, like I was like 17, 18, that the system doesn't even make sense. Like,
great, 100% there.
Declared at that point, I'm going to do whatever it takes to figure out a way to become one of these people. Like, I can't sit in a cubicle. I can't go, be a part of some sort of dictator of
What's wrong with dictators?
Like, go work under a dictator of a boss and have to go
got a job opening if anyone wants to work for a dictator. We're always looking for new Indians.
Sit in traffic every single day just to go get paid a measly $100,000 a year to...
So I've got a question for this guy, right? So Devin, I think your name is that, and from doing a little bit of research, I think he has his own companies or he has his own business or something along to this. Does that make you a dictator that's willing to leverage, someone else's time? Which is, there's nothing wrong with that. It's dictator to dictator. But it's a bit hypocritical, saying that you don't want to do this, all these different things. However, you're probably happy to take in that yourself to make the millions of dollars you portray.
So I decided I was going to do whatever it took, because at that point I was just so pissed off. I was like, what the hell? And so that's when I came across doing real estate. That's when I came across doing YouTube, and I came to find like how much money like you could actually make as somebody doing YouTube.
Not much.
So the time of like an influencer was still kind of becoming a thing. Like, people were just now finding out about how much money these people were making. But it wasn't like where it is today, where it's like freaking everybody has an OnlyFans or whatever the hell, and like all this other everybody is like.
Well, I don't have an OnlyFans, but I do have an Only Tentacles. So if you want to go check it out, it's onlytentacles.com.
Like, has some sort of way.
/disgruntled octopus.
Yeah, and so that for me was like, I was willing to do whatever it took. And then, always after like a few months, 6 months later, then I was doing better than I ever was before. And one thing that I learned along this path of like this lifestyle that you live, it's just, it's not always like rainbows and sunshines. I will say that. but also I would rather have 5 years of pain and suffering to have like another, 65 great years of my life instead of having 40 years of misery, of mediocrity, just to be able to enjoy 7 years of my life. Because if you do the math, like I've done the math.
And he makes a valid point there, right? Like realistically, yeah, but that's not to say that it's one or the other. Yeah, obviously doing 5 years of hardship and going through multiple trials and all these different things to get to your magic $1 million that this gentleman said. But on the flip side, if you work 9 to 5, that doesn't necessarily exclude you from enjoying your life and all the different things. So I don't think they're mutually exclusive in that respect. So I don't know if I agree with that.
Before, the average age of expectancy is 72. The average age of retirement is 65 these days. And so if you think about it, you go to school for your first 18 years, probably 22 if you go to college, maybe 23, 24, it takes you a little bit to graduate. And
all right, this guy's dribbling on. He's infuriating me. So I've had enough of him. So basically what he makes is a valid point, though, is you need to obviously try different things. You need to invest in secondary sources of income. Whilst he doesn't like the 9 to 5 hustle, I suppose, it's no different with the side hustle, right? So realistically, if you're working for yourself or you're working as a side hustle and all these different things, it's quite hard. It's quite complicated. It's not as laid back and cruisy as this gentleman says, especially all these different things. You probably work more for less money. And like you said at the start, is that when you are working, especially like doing side hustles such as eBay, or you do all these different things, 80 hours a week, 90 hours a week, 100 hours a week for very, very minimal money. And realistically, you need to find a business that can obviously work for what you're actually trying to achieve. But anyway, let me know below what you think of this video, what you think of Canup Files. I will put his channel in the description below. To me, he's not necessarily sold. There's something that's not resonating with this guy. I don't know. I don't know if it's a lack of charisma or it's a case of it's a nepo baby, or it's just a generational shift where he doesn't want to work. I really don't know. I can't put my finger on it, or my tentacle on it. But like I said, it's really difficult to get into this mind space where almost like where the world owes you something. You don't have to participate because you want to be a stripper opposed to actually doing something along the lines of that. But by all means, put in your comment section below if I'm off the mark or what your thoughts are in respect to this. No offense to this guy. Like I said, that I don't know him from a bar of soap. I've done limited research on him, so he could be a multi-billionaire for all I know. But like I said, he makes some valid points. A few points fall flat for me personally. But anyway, that's what it is. We're going to do that today. But without further ado, we'll see you next time. Bye.